Hello and welcome. My name is Angie Holden and I'm the blogger behind The Country Chic Cottage. Today I have a new to me and hopefully new to you product, and it is craft plastic that you can cut with your Maker or Maker 3. Now you will need a Maker or Maker 3 and the knife blade to cut this material, which means you also need a computer because the knife blade only works on desktop. Otherwise, you're gonna love this plastic. So it comes in a wide variety of colors. Just this one package here is the rainbow pack, and I was able to make this rainbow wall hanging just with the one package of craft plastic. Now they do have other packages as well with different color combinations, and I will link to the product I'm using in the description below. If you are on computer, click show more. If you're on mobile, click the arrow to expand the description or swipe up on the video depending on how you're watching. Now you will need a few tips and tricks on how to cut this craft plastic in order to get the best results. So first, let's take a look at the craft plastic itself. This is what the package of craft plastic looks like. This is one variety. They do make several varieties. And on the back, it does show which colors are included in the package. To cut this, you'll need your Cricut Maker, the knife blade, a strong grip mat, and some masking or painter's tape to put around the edge. Now let's take a look at adding these sheets to the mat. Each sheet of the craft plastic has a side that doesn't have any film on it, and then one side has a protective film. I like to put that protective film side up and remove it later, just so if the machine scratches the material, it just scratches the film. You want to press this down really well on your mat. I like to use a brayer to do that. And then I use tape just around the edge, just grip the very edge of the material all the way around. You do want to make sure your tape does not go over the edge of the mat, so I'm just going to trim it so it doesn't go over the edge on the sides. So now the mat is ready to cut. And now let's cut that craft plastic. I'm going to use my Cricut Maker, but again, you can use the Maker or the Maker 3. I picked art illustration board for my material, and I'm adding the knife blade to the Maker. And then you just want to load your mat. You do not have to move the star wheels. In fact, I kind of like them spread out to help hold the material into place. And then we'll just load the mat. And press the go button to start cutting. The more intricate your cut, the longer the machine will take. So this cut is fairly simple and it's going to take approximately 7 minutes. So it will cut 17 total passes. Now the thing about this material is you'll kind of pop it out after it's cut, so it may not be cut all the way through during this step. I find that the 17 passes works pretty well, but you can try to check it at this stage by just sort of lifting up on the material while it's still in the machine. Do not eject the mat. And seeing if the material feels like it'll pop out. And I can feel that it's going to pop out on the side, so I'm confident that I can pop this shape out. If you don't feel like it's cut enough through, at this point you can press the go button and do another pass or two to make sure that it will pop out once you eject the mat. Once you eject the mat, you do not need to make any more passes. So I'm going to go ahead and eject the mat on this one. So I went ahead and removed the tape around the outside edge, and then you can just remove the material itself. And you'll notice on this back side you can just barely see the cuts. So on this material you do need to press it through and sort of press the piece out. Now on simple designs like this rainbow, it is very easy to just sort of press the pieces out. The more complicated the design, the harder this is going to be. So here are my rainbow pieces all cut, and you will need to remove the protective film from each one of these. Now you can see that these are extremely thin, so they don't really make a project on their own. So I'm going to go ahead and add them with some glue to a wood board. You could 100% absolutely stack these together and make a project, but because I have just these individual pieces, I am going to add it to a wood board. Now again, these are fairly simple designs, so let's take a look at something that's not so simple. So this is the most intricate piece I cut, and I will admit I did have to cut it twice. Now I did cut 3 extra passes at the end just to be able to pop this out, and it was not easy. So how easy it was on that purple rainbow, it was not that easy with the black. Plus, these small, thin areas are extremely fragile and will break easily. I did find that a pair of just flat tweezers helped me sort of press in these areas to knock each of the pieces out. Here's what happened the first time I tried to cut the welcome design. So first of all, I had pieces breaking off because, like I said, these pieces are fragile. Second, my knife blade got off. So I did want to talk about that just a little bit. If your knife blade is getting off location and cutting where it's not supposed to, one of 2 things. The first and most common thing, and what has happened here, is my material was not stuck down well to the mat. I didn't use the tape around the outside edge, and the material was shifting during the cut. That is the most common issue. The second issue would be your knife blade calibration. So if you want to go ahead and calibrate that knife blade just to make sure before you start anything with this craft plastic, it might be a great idea. So now I'm just using this clear Gorilla Glue to assemble the pieces of the plastic onto my wood board. And I've made a cute sign, all with craft plastic. And this was one package of the plastic. So all of these colors came in the same package. I wanted to test all of them, and this was a great way to do that. And now I have a cute sign. It says welcome, has my rainbow, and I absolutely love it. So I do really like this product, and I can see tons of different things that you can make with it. Again, it is thin, so you wouldn't necessarily just use one sheet by itself for a project that would be self-standing because it would be brittle that way. Now, could you layer it and make something like a cake topper? 100%. I can see those cake toppers right now. I can see that you are thinking about making those, and I really think you could layer this together, glue the pieces together, make something thick and sturdy for those cake toppers. So, craft plastic. Give it a try. Let me know what you think. If you like this video, if it helped you, give us a thumbs up. If you have any questions about craft plastic itself or how to use it, drop down in the comment section, ask away. And if you haven't already, head on over to our YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. We have videos just like this one every single week, and trust me, you don't want to miss any of those. So thank you guys so much for joining me, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.